Well, hello, this is Rosa RCG Creations. How are you doing? How's it going? Hey. Gonna bring to you today another dessert. We're gonna be making a white yellow cake out of my pre-made cake mix recipe. So let's bring it down. Okay. Let's bring it down so you can see what's going on. Okay, we're good to go. I already done pre-made most of that stuff to make it easy on myself. Now, here's my yellow cake mix, and I have all the directions and everything else labeled so it's on the main jar. And I will do a pop-up with all the ingredients. What I'm going to do here is you use 2 whole eggs and then 2 just egg yolks, only the yolks. So I'm going to mix those up first. I think from what my experience from listening to my mom, I didn't bake or nothing, but I would just listen to her do her stuff. And she always tried to get me to cook, get in the kitchen and make something. It's like, nope, I don't want to do it. But she always said she found it easier when it came to cakes and cookies if you mix the eggs totally separate, mix those first, and then add the rest of your wet ingredients. Okay, so that takes care of that. Now we're going to add the butter. And again, I will put a pop-up with all the ingredients. The milk, it's actually buttermilk, not regular milk, it's buttermilk. If you don't have your own milk, buttermilk, you can make some. There's different ways to make it. Let me know, put some in the comments, and I'll let you know and reply to you of how to make it. But that's the milk that I made myself today, because we didn't have any buttermilk. Let's see, I think it said 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and this is my homemade vanilla. 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 2 teaspoons. I just went over. I'm not going to fill that so high. Get all my dirty dishes there. Here's my dirty towel. I still get messes. I haven't been able to do a clean recipe yet with no spillage. But it is what it is. Okay, so that's all the wet ingredients, I'm pretty sure. Because it asks for 1 cup of buttermilk, 2 large eggs plus 2 egg yolks, 1/3 cup of melted butter, or 1/2 cup of coconut liquid oil, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. So we're going to mix all that together. And we're going to put our dry ingredients, which is already in the pre-made mix, which the pre-made mix consists of 2.5 cups of flour, 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 3/4 teaspoons of salt, and 1.5 teaspoons, 1.5 cups of sugar, and you mix it all up. Okay, so now we're going to add, and you can either use a hand mixer or you can mix it by hand, however you want to do it, doesn't matter. It's just going to all mix up and get together. Okay, now we're just going to mix this all up until it all gets incorporated. This is why I'm using a whisk. Oh, I already got spills. And because it's flaky powder, you're going to get that. Man, this smells good. I wish we had smell-o-vision. Already smells good. Smells like a cake mix. Okay, I think it needs a little bit more milk. I like this recipe because you can pre-make it, make it in a big old jar like this. This jar I think will hold, I think 2 cake mixes, 2 batches of cake mixes. Yep, I think that's a little too wet, but let me mix some more. Do you see that? this out of the way. I'm trying to learn to cook and not be so messy. Get my specs, my readers over there. Yeah, it's ready. I still think it's a little too wet. I mean, a little too thick. I'm gonna add a little bit more milk. Just a little bit. I gotta close it up to make sure it didn't spill. I'm gonna mix this slowly. I want it to make it look more like a batter, a cake batter mix. Oh yeah, that's a lot better. I didn't have the cup all the way to the very top, but I didn't think it made that much of a difference, but I guess it does. I don't know. As you can see, it's definitely a lot liquider, a lot thinner. And I went ahead and used the Baker's Joy, because you definitely want your baking pans greased and floured. So I use that. I think it's a little thick for me. I add just a little bit more milk. Okay, that should be good. Okay, I think that's better. That looks a lot better to me. Now we just got to pour it into the cake pan. Move it out of the way. Let me get my spatula. Let's get this out of here. And this is just a plain traditional, plain white, yellow, excuse me, not white, plain yellow cake mix is all this is. It's just a yellow cake mix. I made the recipe for yellow cake mix, chocolate cake mix, and a spice cake mix. Let's see, can I put all this in here? I'm going to use about half in here and the other half to go into the other one. Okay. Just want to even it out so it makes for an even level cake, and of course it will expand as it bakes. Who's that? I see something dark. Oh, it's part of my vanilla. My homemade vanilla. I make my vanilla, homemade vanilla with vanilla beans and some kind of liqueur. It varies on the liqueur what I'm using. This one's just plain vanilla, so it's just made with rum. I actually want it to be a lot fuller than that. You know, I think I'll just put it in here, and then this is just for me and hubby, just for a snack and nothing made, no special occasion. I need to hurry up and use this cake mix because I think it has an 18-month shelf life because of the flour and the baking powder and all that stuff in there. Yeah, I'm going to put the whole thing in here. I forgot to write on there what size cake mix this makes for. That was my fault. And I forgot where I got the recipe from, so I can't copy it again. And I've seen some other ones, but they're not the same ingredients. So, this was done years ago when I first was starting to learn how to bake. Just because, you know how y'all know me, I want everything done yesterday, so it was like, I'm going to be making this stuff from scratch. What is that? It's kind of a blue-green thing. There's something from my spatula, because it's the same color as my spatula. It's a brand new spatula. Well, not brand new, but very seldom used. Okay, I think we're done. Okay, so now we're going to pop it in the oven. Let me get my readers back on, because I know my oven's ready. Okay. Grease and flour baking pan or choice. You want to give yourself at least a 1-inch top, and I have a 1-inch gap from the top of the cake pan because it's going to rise and bake over. You bake it for 30-35 minutes, or you test it when a toothpick comes out, or a cake tester. 350 degrees for 30-35 minutes. Then once it's done and the cake's cooked, you take it out of the oven and then you put it on the cooling rack. You allow it to cool for 10 minutes. Then you take it out of the pan, put it on the cooling rack, and you allow it to totally cool before you frost it. But we're not going to frost it today, because we're just going to have cake with some fresh frozen strawberries that I'm draining right now. So all the juices come out, and they're going to be right on top. Okay, let's get this in the oven, and we'll bring you back when we come and do the next phase. We'll bring you back. Okay, we are back. The cake sat out for 10 minutes. No, put my pot holder away. There we go. Sorry about the lighting. Oops. Don't need this no more. Well, let's see how easy it comes out. Ah, smooth, smooth, smooth. There we go. It's going to sit like this until it totally cools. Then I'm going to invert it, put it on the plate, and then we'll slice it up and we'll have ourselves some cake and strawberries for dessert. We'll bring you back at the next phase. Then we'll do the taste test. Okay, we are back. Alrighty, so it's off the cake pan. That's cooled off now. And let's invert it. Ta-da! Looks good. Oh, got to put it on a cake pan. On a plate. It'll get washed. Don't need these no more. Now let's cut into it. It's still just a little warm, not a whole lot. Hubby said he wouldn't mind eating it low warm. But it's just going to be me and him, nobody else. Yummy, see that? Okay, just leave that here. Let's get a fork, 2 forks. Let me get my strawberries. I chopped them up. These are frozen strawberries because we're not doing icing. So all I'll do is just chop them up. Because this is definitely not on my weight program, but that's okay. And there we go. Bring you up just a tad. Let's do a quick taste test. Just a cake by itself. It could add more sugar to the cake, for sure, but it tastes like a cake. Let's do some strawberries and cake. I say like this. The only reason I say that is, it is a little on the dense side. Now my mix, like I said, I had to hurry up and use it because it's over 18 months old. It's just right at barely 2 years, so I need to, that could be part of it. That some of the powder, the baking powder and all that has gotten flat, so it's not full. But it definitely tastes like a cake. It's not overly sweet, but I don't make things overly sweet anyway because I don't care for them overly sweet. And since I've added my fresh strawberries, which are very sweet, for me that gives me just enough sweetness. But if you wanted more sweetness, when you take a bite of the strawberries and the cake, it's really, really good. To me, that's more than enough sweetness. I wouldn't want any more than that personally. So in the pop-up of the recipe, if you like it overly sweet, I would say add about a half a cup more of sugar than the recipe calls for. I don't know exactly what it is, but I'll do a pop-up near the beginning of all the ingredients to make your own dry mix. So this is my take on yellow cake mix with fresh strawberry right on top. Thanks so much for watching. We'll catch you in the next video. Take care now. Bye-bye.